Welcome back to Mcoc Albundyrules. Yes, it's been quite a long time since one of these, over 15 months since my last champ tutorial, and over 15 months the last time you all got to hear my fresh voice, that is, out of coming from a fresh video. You might have heard it since then on some old videos, but it's been over 15 months since my last commentary video. Anyway, before this tutorial starts on this amazing champ, I'm going to give you a little bit of everything on how he does the resistances, the buffs, the synergies, the blah blah, all the good yum stuff. I'm going to break it all down for you. Before we do, let's look at some of this damage. You're going to see some of the damage popping up on there. You see some good six-figure damage coming on this. The good thing about this amazing champ is that he gets this six-figure damage very quickly. He doesn't have to go through this whole long ordeal of ramp up through this big blah 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 massive hit counts. No, he can get to that six-figure massive damage from the harvest. It's where he gets his real damage very quickly. But first, let's talk about the solar intensity. This is what gets him his apocalypse kind of references, which are pretty deserving. So on the solar intensity, he starts with 1, his first fight. Every time he beats a non-dimensional champion, it goes up another 1. So it goes up to 2, which then increases the duration of his future buffs, which is good. And then it goes up to 3, which can not only do the buffs, but also allows him to have a true strike against, ignore the armor, ignore auto block, that kind of stuff against those kind of champs. Time biology is great. This is very useful because this is really where a lot of it starts off. It gives him some of his immunity, but what this really does is it makes it to where you want to do medium light, medium combos. I'll talk about this a bit. You're going to see kind of why in there because they give resistance. So the first light and second medium each give one buff, which for a total of 2. The first medium gives a buff. So by doing medium light, medium, you get 4 buffs. Resistance buffs. Sure. Is that important? It is, because those buffs can be converted to different things to get you higher attack with an S1 I'll show you later. But additionally, anytime you get any buff, it gives you planetary mass. You need this planetary mass because this is where you get your real damage. So again, medium light, medium gives you the buffs that give you planetary mass. So several medium light medium will get you to 100. All you need is 100 to activate harvest. So once you get 100 planetary mass, or these charges, I'll refer to them, you can do that heavy to do harvest. You can go up to 999. Of course, the higher you go, the more damage you're going to do. But it can still build them after you activate harvest. So for example, you can do medium light medium, get up to 100, do that heavy, do several more medium light mediums while the timer's going. While the timer's going, harvest is still up. Once the timer expires, harvest ends, any of those planetary mass charges you have will go boom. The more you have, the more damage it's going to give to the defender. You can also end it early by doing a special, which is I generally recommend because you get extra benefits on the specials when you activate them with the harvest, which I'm going to talk about as we get to the special section on here. So you get those mediums going, boom, boom, pow, boom, right? You do the heavy, right? And you let the timer go, you let the special go, and smack dabby dab, you get the big harvest damage. Let's talk about our special. Special 1. Again, I always recommend having harvest active, meaning always hit a medium a little before you plan on doing a special is what I recommend. And again, it also pauses there. So you could be right at the end of special 1. Once you activate harvest, you don't get any more power as long as you have 1 bar of power. So keep that in mind. You notice my power isn't going up right there. Special 1 is great. It gives you 4 Furies. Also, if you activate it while Harvest is up, it converts all of your resistances that you built from those medium light medium attacks into charges. That's going to give you bigger harvest damage once that ends. So special 1s for those medium light mediums, you can just go back and forth with those, especially if you don't run suicides or recoil masteries, and just knock those out all day and get some huge chunks of damage going on. Special 2 is great because this gives you the buffs, 8 of them, that is going to increase the potency of any future buffs by 5%. So you can go piggyback these between the 1 and 2, these potency buffs along with the fury buffs to increase. It also gives you the incinerate damage for some debuffs. And I'm going to show you in the tips how to kind of get the best out of mixing these specials together to get these maximum bits right there. You do see these nice special 2. Of course, once you get the harvest, you get that extra bit right there. You go ahead and knock that out. You see the unblockable with that, and you just see that incinerate damage go, and you see the health melt away. Special 3 is good because it gives you 200 planetary mass right there automatically on that S3. So if you were low, boom, you knocked it out to 200. Gives you higher so when the harvest ends. Additionally, a good way to do the special 3 is you go ahead and you get around to close, you get to this, you want to get to 3 bars of power, you go ahead and do the heavy, start the harvest, keep doing medium, heavy, medium, light, medium, light, mediums, and once the special is once the timer is about to end on the harvest, hit that special 3 and it will start it back over again, which keeps you in harvest long with unstoppable in the regeneration. Signature ability, so we're going to see a bit here. We see the aptitude, we see some of the immunities you have here about the power drain as far as what it can do on the damage and all that. Makes it very good on champs like the Warlock, a lot of those tech, power defenders, power drainers, that kind of stuff. The Cosmic Seed Heralds, again, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you can get 1, 2, or 3. You can also spend them to make a champ a herald. You're going to see these heralds. It costs 2 to make it a herald, meaning you start with 1, you have to win at least 1 fight, then you can spend 2 of them to make it a herald. So it just kind of like APOC can make some good champs great, but additionally, it actually makes some great champs even greater. For example, Cosmic Ghost Rider can even get better with this, which is pretty dang awesome. And this could be used in any of the Cosmics right there, which makes it very good. We'll also see some of the synergies as we scroll down to include some synergies that can give our champ here some extra benefits. The Colossus, Thanos one there, and a Mr. Fantastic as well with that good stuff over here. Taking a look at those synergies. Now let's talk about our tips. I have about 6 tips actually, so keep an eye on all of them. Use them to counter armor up champs. You can build them up a lot quicker because you can get higher amounts of charges for the harvest on the armor up champs. Additionally, he can, when he uses harvest, it can avoid, it can go around and ignore the armor damage. So that makes it really good. And he ramps up really quick on that. So champs like that is great. Tip number 2, great immunities make easy work of these champs like Warlock, those power lockers, special lockers, those kind of things. A lot of those techs, he is perfect for these kind of fights. Use them there. Use them against those armor up champs. Use them against these techs. Works great. Again, as I said before, focus on those medium, light, medium combos. This ramps up Galan fast. Again, those medium, light, mediums are getting to get them 4, 2 physical, 2 energy, resistance buffs, which are then also going to go to the ramp up charges for the harvest, which is going to be important. Tip number 4, you can get these fights over pretty quick on the shorter fights to get damage in 15 seconds, give or take, by doing some medium light mediums until you get to around 100 charges. Do that heavy to start that harvest. As the timer is going, do medium light mediums before the timer ends, knock out that S1, and boom. It takes 15 seconds from the beginning of the fight to get 6-figure damage. I mean, that's simple and easy. Suicide's friendly rotation. If you're like me and you hate that recoil damage, it can wear you down for questing if you're doing too many of the S1s and S2, so go to the S3 rotation. All you got to do is get them to an S3, launch that heavy, keep doing medium light mediums. Once the timer is almost over, launch that S3, it restarts the harvest, and then that's really doubling your regeneration and unstoppable time is what that's doing for you. And it's avoiding any recoil damage. And then you can keep doing that rotation, or before that ends, you can launch an S1 and S2, whatever you might like from there, but it gives you the most on there. Keep it, remember, main damage comes from the build-up charges on the harvest expire. So of course he gives a lot of damage on the specials, and you see the big damage from the specials, but that's really because the harvest is ending when the special ends. Many rotations exist. So a good one that's good for a lot of fights is going to, especially longer fights, is going to be keep going those medium light mediums. You get up to 100, 200 charges, give or take. You go ahead and launch that S1. I usually don't do the harvest yet on the first one, because I want to make sure I have enough charges for the S2. So I do medium light medium, launch the S1. While the Furies are going, I want to build up to the S2. So I keep doing medium light mediums, and then once I get to the S2, I launch the heavy to start the harvest. Before the Furies expire, I launch that S2. So I have all those 4 Furies from the S1, and I have the harvest going. I launch the S2, and that gives me all the potency buffs, and that gives me the incinerates. I then start doing medium light mediums again. This time I give them to an S1. This time I'm going to do the harvest before the S1. I'm going to launch a heavy before the S1. Do some medium light mediums, then launch the S1. This, by doing the harvest before the S1, is going to convert the resistances into extra charges for the harvest. So it's going to give me a higher attack harvest quicker. I then do that. Keep doing medium, light, medium as I go to the S2 where the furious are still up. Do another heavy, get the harvest to start again, and boom, do the S2. All kinds of fun. I'm hoping you enjoyed the video, hoping it was helpful for you. Thanks so much for watching.